Assalamu alaikum, dear students, class 11th. Our topic is personal Helicon by for Michael Lingley by Seamus Heaney. We have to continue today. Yes, we have to perform the tournament exercise, which includes discussion, fill in the blanks, completion of summary. Besides, besides we have to perform. We have to. Oh, क्या सर बेटा? Besides, we have to see poetic devices and we have to perform reference to context. We have also to write down discuss the theme of the poem, also have its critical appreciation as well as style of the poem or style used by the poet. Yes, dear students. Now, first let us complete the summary. Yes, the summary is complete the summary of the poem by filling up the blanks using suitable words or phrases. The poet personal Helicon is basically about the poet's journey from childhood to adulthood. Yes, dear students, the poet as a child was dashed by vowels and dashed with brackets. Yes, the poet as a child was immensely fascinated by vowels and old pumps with brackets and winches. He loved the dark depths, the dash sky, the trapped sky, and the dash of weeds and the smells of weeds, fungus and moss. He remembers a well in a brickyard while the board top had dashed, yes, decayed or rotted away. Yes, dear students, the poet enjoyed the dash of the bucket as it crashed down into the well at the end of a row. Yes, rich crash or fall, sudden fall. A, a shallow well under a dry stone ditch was dashed as an aquarium, fructified as an aquarium. Yes, when the poet pulled out weeds from the soft mulch he could dash in the water. He could see a white face hover in the water. Sometimes the poet would call out to hear the dash of his own voice. Yes, echoes of his own voice. Once a rat ran across his reflection and dashed him, frightened him or scared him. But now the poet has moved away from poetry. From the poetry he wrote when he was younger to a more mature kind. Yes, dear students, he no longer dashed into wells, but writes poetry that makes the darkness dead. He no longer pries, P-R-I-S, prize. Third person, singular, form in present simple tense, prize. He no longer pries into wells, but writes poetry that makes the darkness echo or resound. That much we had done earlier. Now, discussion second, comprehension. Yes, dear students. The poem is written on a note of first revulsion, second nostalgia, third melancholy. Yes, you are correct. It is written on a note of nostalgia. In Urdu we say yaad mazi. Yes, students, second question. What is the significance of the title Personal Helicon? Yes, you know the title of the poem, The Personal Helicon. It is quite appropriate and it has a significance. We see here two things. We see here two things. First, according to Greek mythology, all poetic inspirations came from the mountain range called Helicon. Second, the poet's childhood life was Helicon on his personal life. Personal? On his personal life. Yes, on his personal life. On his personal life, yes. With his becoming elder, his poetry has undergone a change. The things that appealed to him in childhood no longer appeal to him now. Now, dear students, question number 3. Yes, on page number 169. Why did the poet find wells and old pumps fascinating in his childhood? Yes, simple question. The poet found wells and old pumps fascinating in his childhood because they appealed him, or he was a playful boy. He was a playful boy. He liked the depth and echoes, the depth of the wells and echoes. Yes, dear students. Why did the poet find one of the wells scary? Quite easy question. He found, yes, he found one of the wells scary because there a rat came out of the grass, uh, and disappeared suddenly. He hid suddenly. That made the poet frightened or scary. Now, important question. Question number 5. What difference do you notice between the poet as a child and the poet as a mature adult? In childhood, he went. He liked wells and old pumps. They proved fascinating to him because he was a playful boy. But now he is not interested in wells, nor now he writes about the darkness echoing or to see himself. It means he introspects himself. इन उर्दू से अब अपने आप को जानता है और उसी के मुताबिक पोइट्री लिखता है, पोइम्स लिखता है. Now, dear students, yes, dear students, now poetic techniques. Yes, you know what is allusion. You know, poets and writers often make an allusion or a reference to another time, another work, another person, in order to help the reader call up relevant association or relation. For example, we are Muslims. We know about Hazrat Nuh. He built the ark. He built the catamaran. He built the boat. So क्या कहते हैं? Plan ahead. It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. Here the poet, here the author Richard Cushing alludes to great flood and Noah's building of ark ahead of flood to save the species from extinction. So you know illusion, it means in Urdu it means talmiya, it means dar parda hawala, it means kinaya, it means aima. You fully know because you have also read Urdu in 9th, 10th. Now your subject may or may not be Urdu because some of you may be science students. Now, dear students, now what is our job? Our job is now read personal Helicon again and underline the allusion to other literary works or characters. Also discuss their relevance. We have here example of allusion. Helicon and big-eyed Narcissus. Yes, Helicon, you know, according to Greek mythology, it is source of inspiration for Greek poets. And big-eyed Narcissus, it alludes the poet's ability to see himself. To see himself. For example, in your poem, you, in the lost in the sea, I rhyme to see myself, to set the darkness echoing. In childhood, he was attracted towards wells and old pumps. No one could stop him. But now he has left that. Now he writes poems about himself to introspect himself. Yes, dear students. We see what the poet's source of inspiration is his childhood, when he wrote quite differently from what he writes now. Narcissus alludes the poet's ability to see himself or his image in the depths of poetry and depths of reality. So the illusion becomes clear from the line as I told you, I rhyme to see myself, to see the darkness equally. Now, dear students, feel you are attentive, page number 169, reference to the context. Yes, as a child, they could not keep me from wells and old pumps with buckets and windlasses. I loved the dark drop, the trapped sky, the smells of waterweed, fungus, and dank moss. Yes, so simple. Now, what is our job? We have to answer these questions. According to this stanza, according to these four lines, explain the meaning of the phrase, they could not keep me from wells. Yes, yes, students. It means the wells and pumps had the greatest attraction, charm for the poet when he was a child. No one could stop him from going to them. Oh, he had such an attraction for him. They had such an attraction for him. Yes, dear students. Mention any four reasons. In bracket you see smells, reflections, sounds, the life in a well. Why the poet found wells fascinating? Explain the reasons. We have to give four reasons with respect to smells, with respect to reflection, with respect to sound, with respect to life in a well. Yes, dear students. The poet, you know, he found the wells charming or fascinating. They charmed him for the smells of waterweed, fungus, and dank moss that were found around. He also liked them. He also liked them for the rich crash when a bucket would come down at the end of rope. This is an example of sound. He also got charmed by the deep depths of the wells. You know, they were so deep that he could not see reflection in them in these wells. He liked some of the wells for another reason. When he called into them, his own call would resound, echo. Yes, the echoes had a clean music in them. These are the reasons why the poet found wells fascinating. Now, part C. What is the poet's attitude towards wells in this stanza? Does the attitude change as an adult? Yes, you know, in this stanza it is clear that the poet has a great liking for wells, or great charming towards wells. The second part, does that attitude change as an adult? Yes, the poet's attitude changes as an adult. Now, a reference to the context number second. Now pry into roots, no, to finger slime, to steer big-eyed Narcissus into some spring is beneath all adult dignity. I rhyme to see myself, to set the darkness echoing. Yes, question number A. Why? What is it? What is it that the poet finds beneath all adult dignity? Yes, you know, when the poet was a child, he would he would search into root finger slime and sit into some springs like big-eyed Narcissus. But now the poem has become a mature adult. He finds all these things. He feels surveying these things below his dignity. Below his dignity. Now, question B. Who was Narcissus? Why does the poet compare himself to Narcissus? Yes, dear students. You know, Narcissus in Greek mythology was a handsome youth who fell in love with his own handsome face as he saw his image in a pool. As he gazed in fascination, he was unable to remove himself from his image, and gradually he got lost. The poet, here the poet is. Who is the poet here? The poet here is Seamus Heaney. Yes, the poet compares himself to Narcissus. Because as a child, he found the wells in old pumps as fascinating as the Greek youth had found his image, seen or reflected in a pool. In a pool. Now, part C. Why does the poet write poetry? The poet writes poetry to see himself and to set the darkness echoing. This poetry reflects his thoughts, or uh, or his thoughts are reflected through poems. Yes, dear students. Now another reference to context. One in a brickyard with a rotted board top. I savored the rich crash when a bucket plummeted down at the end of a rope, so deep you saw no reflection in it. Yes, dear students. Now question. What does the poet remember about a brickyard? Oh, you are quite right. He remembers a well in a brickyard where the wooden board top had decayed. What did the poet enjoy? What did the poet enjoy then? Then he refers to childhood. He enjoyed the rich crash or fall of the bucket as it fell down into the well at the end of a rope. Seaport, how can you say that the well was very deep? Some science student, yes, it was so deep that even a reflection could not be seen. Now next, a shallow one here refers to well, a shallow one under a dry stone ditch, fructified like an aquarium. Fructified means bore life. When you dragged out long roots from the soft mulch, a white face hovered over the bottom. Yes, dear students. Now let us try to answer some of the questions given after the after this stanza. What was a shallow one under? What was a shallow one under a dry stone ditch? One here refers to well, so it was a shallow well under a dry stone ditch. What was done under the stone ditch? What was done under the stone ditch? Yes, a shallow well under a stone ditch was made useful. Shabash, good as in aquarium. Like the line fructified like an aquarium. What could the poet experience when he pulled out weeds from the soft mulch? Yes, he could see a white face hover in the water. Now last reference to others had echoes. Give back your own call. Give back your own call. Be that, yes, with a clean new music in it, and one was some foam for dear out of furnace and tall foxgloves. A rat slapped across my reflection. What had echoes? Other wells had echoes. What did the poet experience when he called into them? Yes, he would call out to hear the echoes of his own voice. What was one sarcasm of the poet? What was one sarcasm of the poet? Once, it means time. Once a rat ran across his reflection. That made the poet sarcasm, or it was frightful for the poet. Now, a few lines about the critical appreciation of the poem. You know the poem is entitled Personal Helicon for Michael Langley by, yes, by the poet Seamus Heaney. The poem's title, you know, it is quite appropriate. It has been written on a note of nostalgia. We know according to Greek mythology, all poetic illustrations come from the mountain called Helicon. But for the poet, his life lived in the countryside was a Helicon on the personal level. When he became an adult, his poetry underwent a change. These childhood things did no longer appeal to him. Though he felt attracted by wells and old pompous ponds and streams in his childhood, but now they do not appeal to him. He has no liking for them. The poet fond of wells, frightened or became scary because a rat came there out of her. As an adult, during his adulthood, a great change overtook him. His thought, his perception changed. Now he began to write. Yeah, now he wrote about himself. The poetry, the poet writes poetry to see himself and read and reflect his thoughts through his poems. Yes, now a few things about the style of Seamus Heaney in the poem. Seamus Heaney has made use of Greek mythology illusion. These two things in this poem. Greeks, they say the poetic inspiration came from mountain ranges called Helicon. For the poet, who spent his childhood in the countryside, this countryside was his Helicon in childhood on personal level. When he became an adult, his poetry underwent a change. The things that appealed to him in childhood no longer appeal to him. Now, as an adult, he writes to see himself. So, you see, his style becomes introspective, अपने आप में झांकना. And analytical means जिसमें वो क्या कहते हैं उर्दू में ताइजिया करना. What is right, what is wrong, what suits and what not suits. Now, last question. Theme of personal icon. This poem is based on the theme that all poetic inspirations, according to Greek mythology, came from the mountain ranges called Helicon. You also know Seamus Heaney lived in countryside in his childhood. So he gets his inspiration from the scenes and sights of countryside. When he became an adult, the valleys and other scenes of countryside didn't appeal to him. He writes poetry to see himself, to introspect himself. He writes adult poems to see himself and to set the darkness echoing. Dear students, this is the theme of personal Helicon. I feel it is enough for we people today.